Jackson, he's on. He was. What the fuck?
Destinoda should be hopping on.
Where are you? I just texted you, Mayor.
Oh, my foot.
Your foot broken.
Yeah.
Injured?
Yeah.
Sorry for that. Sorry for your loss.
Kevin injured. Don't wait. Call 8.
There he is.
There's Destinoda.
Call 888-888-8888.
One too many 8s, but alright.
I thought it was short 1-8. 888-888-8888.
What?
Is there a country code?
Yes. The country code is 8.
That's too many 8s.
Thanks.
Too many 8s.
Oh.
That's an 8 and an 8 and got sick on the floor, you know what I mean?
Okay, well,
Get it? That's a mad
888 and got sit on the floor.
Yeah.
hold on. It's enough 8s, okay? 8,
There's a
3
few
8s in the
cats,
beginning,
not part of the
3
bottom
8s
part.
in the middle, 4 8s at the end.
Thank you.
Are we starting? What's happening?
Yeah, he's not hopping in yet, but okay, we'll start.
No, it's
Welcome.
fine. Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome once again to the
Oh, yeah.
the eccentric, amazing, fantabulous podcast that is Crafting the Chat. We're on episode 84, and we've got the usual crew here: Adam, Kevin,
Hello.
Destinodo, myself.
Hello.
Gentlemen, how are we doing
Shit, I'm
tonight?
here?
Good,
Absolutely, you are. Absolutely. Good
When
to
are
hear
we
you're
having
doing well.
another guest appearance?
I don't know. When would you like to have another guest appearance? You tell me, Destinodo. Would you like to invite somebody?
We've had good guests.
We've had some good ones.
We can
yeah.
get some
I
of
don't-
them back, maybe.
I don't mind
Yeah.
inviting some again. We'll look into that for a future episode. Probably a very near future episode for guest appearance.
Episode 100, we all gather. We get them all back.
We should, except for the one that who shall not be named.
That's not a guest.
Oh, we needed to have another guest appearance from Crustacean.
Crustacean. I like the name this week. I like it. Crustacean. Gentlemen, what did we do last week? Kevin, you want to start us off?
Sure, why not? What the hell did I play? I played Lamentum again. Finished up that game. One more playthrough will get me the platinum. I just got to make sure that I don't screw up the 2 endings I need to get in that one playthrough. So I'll be following a little bit of a guide to make sure that happens. I'll go a little bit more in detail when I get into my topics about that bad boy.
You aiming for the platinum for that game or no?
Oh yeah.
He just
What
said.
I just said.
I thought that was just completion of the game, not actual platinum of the game. I
No,
apologize.
platinum.
Who,
I
who
finished the
says
game.
I'm going to platinum the game, but they're talking about just completion?
I mean, it depends. Maybe the game has platinum medals in it. I mean, you don't
You
Finish the
alright,
game
man?
getting-
You okay? Is something going
I
on?
finished the game getting 2 of the 4 possible
Kinda
endings.
drunk.
So yeah, well, that's good for you. And
Yeah.
then let's see.
No,
I
it's not.
played-
Something's
what
wrong.
else
Why are you
did I play?
drinking?
No, it's fine. Because he wants to. I also played Book of Demons some more because that
Demons,
game
okay.
is too addicting.
Okay.
And then I played just today. I played Final Fantasy Origins: Stranger of Paradise. 4 hours into that bad boy. That game is freaking great.
Can't wait
If
to
you
get
liked
my
what you
copy
saw
on
in the
Friday.
demo, if you liked what you got in that demo, like the second one, I didn't play the newest one because I was just going to get the game literally a week later. So like,
Progress a demo, so we wanted to try it and carry it over to the actual game. So
well, there you have it. Didn't know that. But anyway, I started the game up, and if you liked what you had in the demo, it gets better. Oh yeah. There's so many freaking classes in this game. It's great.
I thought the last time I
I think
looked
my
it
final
up, it
count
was
was
like
27 or 20.
30 jobs that you can do in this game. 30 different, and they all have like branching things in there too.
And the secret one for beating the game.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I didn't know there was a secret one. Okay.
Longer a secret is it?
I didn't say what it was.
Oh my god! What a twist.
You have a point.
But
no,
okay. Cool.
the only way you normally unlock job classes is either equipping a base weapon
Right.
or leveling up other jobs and in the tree getting all the requirements for the new class, which is usually, actually I think it's always, 2 other classes from the tier underneath it.
Yeah, you're correct with that one. Like to get to a.
But you don't have to just get those classes. You have to go through that class to the new class's node and get it.
Yeah, like to get a
In both of
paladin, you'd
those.
have to have both like the swordsman and the mage's class and meet somewhere in the
Yeah,
middle, and
something
then it
like
gets
that.
to
Yeah,
paladin. Yeah.
Which, by the way, Genesis, since I know we played that demo, just want to throw this out there. Base class that I don't remember being in the demo, Ronin.
That was not in the demo. Excuse me? Are you
It's all
telling me I
about
can...
it's all about charged sword attacks and countering.
Interesting.
And then there's also Marauder, I think, is the base class for the axe.
What?
Axes are either normal swings or multi-leveled charged attacks
Okay.
that do dumb amounts of damage, but like you have to take the time to charge it up. It's real interesting. The classes are so cool. I think Magic is slightly better somehow too. I'm playing around with Magic and I love it. It casts so intuitively and it's very quick.
I
The
didn't have that
devastating
much
results.
with Magic when we did the demo. I was more interested
I
in
don't
like the
remember.
halberd and the greatsword and things like that. I was like, yeah,
I
I
don't
want to do
remember
this.
Magic being all that strong. It's freaking great now.
Okay.
So I don't remember
That's a good
them well enough to
improvement.
know what they may have improved, but like I love it. I'm using it. I'm Red Mage and Sword Fighter right now. Or Swordsman, not Sword Fighter.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on a copy and we can start co-oping this thing together because that was the main
100%.
point of the game. I want to do that co-op. That co-op seems to be running pretty well too.
By the way, just throwing this out there. We're gonna be playing this game for a while. One of the trophies for this bad boy: complete a level 200 mission on Chaos difficulty. That's not even an option right now.
I'm sorry. Level 200.
Yeah. After 4 hours, I am. I don't even know how you calculate or how like a mission level is determined. My highest mission level right now is 19. 4 hours in.
Oh, we're gonna be in this for a while. Oh, we're gonna be here for a while. I'm gonna look up the guide for the platinum. I want to see how attainable it is. So.
There are trophies in the current list on PlayStation that no one has. So.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well. Okay then. I guess we'll take it step by step.
Anyway, yeah, that's all I played.
Thanks, Kevin. Adam, what'd you do?
Mostly watch Crustacean play Horizon.
I
little bit
watching him.
Yeah, I did a little bit of Horizon myself. I played like 1 or 2 missions. Still enjoying the crap out of that.
Down, you know? The game is so good. You just
so good. Yeah, so good. I played a little bit of GTA Online. I started that today.
Did?
Yeah, I texted you.
Oh, that's why you sent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't. I wanted to see if I could migrate my PS3 character to PC
Service
and then
shut
PC
down,
to PS5. Yeah, shut down in 2017, so a little late. So I started over. I did like the introduction and stuff. I was gonna invite you to the crew that I had because for some reason it still let me keep my crew, which was weird. But
that must have to do with the actual servers itself. That might
so
not
like
be...
Rockstar Social had it all there, and somebody from my crew is still in there, like from my PS3 days, and I know they haven't played Grand Theft Auto since the back in the day, so it's very strange. So I was able to connect my Rockstar Social, and my crew that I made in like September of 2013 is still there. So that's cool, I guess.
Invite me, I'll join in.
Yeah, you haven't created your account according to Rockstar because you had that whole error issue.
All right.
So when you do that, when you get that done, then I will be able to invite you, and because the only friend that recommended was somebody else who played GTA, but not you. I don't know why. It's very confusing. And what else? Kevin tempted me to play a Paugi game.
Our afternoon was great.
Called Word Breaker.
Word Breaker, yep.
Yeah, well, I got it. Word Breaker. Yeah, it's similar to Wordle. Couple hours of that, and we got the platinum. And there was a PS4 and PS5 version, and then on the PS5 version, I literally just typed in all the answers because I found a guide online. So I have 2 platinums. I'm at 104 now. So
wow, look at you.
Yeah, so I didn't want to buy it because it was $8, and we usually wait for the Paugies to go on sale. But Kevin said he's going to pay me, so still waiting on that check to come in the mail.
Nice.
So
for $8.
yes, yeah, check, yeah,
right?
yeah, check,
100%.
Cashier's check.
Oh, yeah, of
course.
It's gotta be certified.
Oh.
It's gotta be certified.
Well, I don't trust him writing a check.
No.
I'd never take a check from Kevin. I don't trust that
might
guy
just
for
write
nothing.
the check, and he might
Wait,
my name
hold on a
it
minute
instead.
now.
Hey, don't think about past things that you gave me a check for. No, it's
For
fine.
a lot more money.
Yeah, well, that's the secret of a check. The more money that's it's written for, the more possibility that it's going to actually cash.
Yep.
I've watched enough. I've watched enough. This one guy on Craigslist said that to me. I'm still waiting for his cash check for that pool table I sold him, but it's been like 8 years, so any minute now it's gonna.
Sometimes there's a delay in the system and the backstream issues with the upstream and the downward spiral.
I just hope there's no issues because I switched banks, so that might be an issue.
Backstream? Let's go back to that real quick.
Kevin, it's part of the net code with banks.
We're here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, with the upload and the download and the uplink and the downlink and all those things.
Also,
the backlink and the forward link.
Yep. I'm glad we're all on the same page. I'm glad we all get to look at us, such technologically savvy people. I also saw the Batman for the second time. Loved it again. Seeing it on Sunday with another friend of mine who shall remain nameless.
Okay.
Oh.
Destinota, you going on Sunday?
I want to go, but
has this already been offered to you, and you've already explained it to the other person involved?
I don't recall that happening.
No,
wow.
No.
Wow. I'm gonna assume that friend is a bad brother then. He shall remain nameless. Genesis, what did you play?
I love it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
I just played more Horizon, honestly. I haven't been able to play anything else.
Yeah, you weren't on much.
No, I was actually away for the weekend, so, there's that. Took a little bit of vacation. Was away for the weekend. Played Horizon. Couldn't get enough of that. Couldn't wait to come back. Couldn't wait to come back and play that because that game is just so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw my first Fireclaw, and now I have nightmares. So that's not.
Yeah, they're great.
And then I did try to boot up GTA. Unfortunately, it did not work. So we'll see if it works today.
It should work. I had no issues except one issue that was pretty major and made me start it all over again. Other than that, no issues.
Well, whichever, Rockstar, I guess, in a way. I don't know.
It also was something that was so simple that when I Googled it, people were like, this is how you... Because it was like, hey, change the name of your organization. And then I Googled it, and people were like, this is how you change the name of your organization after you've already named it. And I'm like, no, I need it the first time you change the name. Because I couldn't open the menu or sit down anywhere. And then I realized I just had to close out. I had to do like a couple tutorial things again, and then it worked. I got it to work. So, like 10 minutes wasted at most.
Yeah, that's okay. I wasted about half an hour yesterday just staring at a black screen. So
yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah, sure. Could have been playing Horizon, but I was like, I just want to see how this works. And I was like, I wasted my time.
He was just waiting for that black screen to turn into a green screen or a blue screen.
Or a red screen or a yellow screen. Who knows? All the colors of the rainbow at this point.
What about a brown screen? You think that could happen?
No.
Is it because brown isn't real?
Yeah, they're not worth it. They're not worth it at all.
What's the wow for? Scientifically, brown isn't real.
Oh, Okay, we're going that route. Got it. Never mind.
Yeah. What the hell route were you going? Wow.
Don't worry about it.
Wow.
He went the route that I went. You know, they're not,
No,
not worth it.
Desinota, what'd you play?
Went Route 66.
Route 69. Yeah.
God.
I played,
Elden Ring, you can start with.
yeah, I played a little bit of that during the last podcast, episode.
Still playing Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here and there. I haven't been feeling to play because I got sick.
What?
Slight cold.
Get on the weather.
Yeah.
Got the vid. Alright, well.
Anybody ever above the weather?
Sometimes you're above the weather. Depends on if you're in a
Crustacean
plane or not.
Oh, okay.
Crustacean.
He's tall.
He's too tall. He's above the weather.
He's too tall, yeah.
Sorry, Americans. You.
So what? Did you say ma mère, the French for mother? You mean to say Desunoto?
Mater, Desunoto.
Yeah, I just haven't been playing Master Duel too much because I don't feel like using my brain so much for the deck that I made. It requires a lot of brain power.
I would agree. Yu-Gi-Oh does
so
require
I've just been
quite a bit of brain power.
I've just been watching stuff.
What you watching?
I was actually just watching the 22nd episode of Platinum End. I think I'm all caught up on the show finally, after like a couple months of not watching any episodes. And it's going pretty good.
Okay.
Going pretty good.
I'm about four episodes behind Attack on Titan now, and I need to watch that again. So I don't have the time. Don't have time for shows anymore. Although, you know, there's movies I want to see, but that's different.
I'll see if that friend can get you an invite.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. I have a question as well. Spider-Man's out on digital. Anybody download the digital version of Spider-Man, or everybody waiting for a physical copy of Spider-Man?
I'm not buying that.
No? Okay, alright.
I want to buy that. I already saw it.
I know.
Twice.
I want to see it again.
Yeah, I'll wait till it goes on sale, maybe.
I got the digital for free, and then I'm waiting for physical to come in.
Yeah, I'll wait till it goes on sale.
Yeah. Anything else you saw, Desinado? Any of the shows you saw?
I started this show called Dropout on Hulu.
Dropout?
It's about this girl who gets into Stanford, and she wants to do something huge like Steve Jobs, like that level of advancement and success.
Are you talking about The Dropout?
Yeah.
It's about Elizabeth Holmes. It's based on a true story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's about a girl who wants to do something. I thought for a second I was like, wow, what an inspirational story. It's about a woman currently on the fence of going to jail for life.
Yeah, so she started this whole
Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, it was essentially to make blood testing easier and like portable. You could do it at home. None of the testing happened. It went all the way literally to like making a facility, and that's kind of the point where things started to fall apart because people just believed her by her demeanor and how she portrayed herself and how she creatively lied to everybody about where the progress was and all this stuff. Kind of similar to the other show.
The Anna Chomsky one?
Yeah.
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 You just watching shows about women who lied to people. What's going on?
Everyone.
What's going on in your personal life? Doesn't know what's happening there.
Alright, does it seem interesting? So I'm like, okay, I'll watch this.
Alright.
There was another one.
You've been lied to?
Show.
What's going on? You've been lied to in your life?
No.
Yes.
Just any interaction you can take. I get it. Oh, we all understand. You know, you're on a bus, you get a whiff, you know, you're having a good time.
What?
Yes.
Anyways, Destinoto.
Yeah, there was one other show I watched on Netflix. How was it called?
Love Island.
Love Island.
I just guess. Love is Blind, season 2.
No.
Love Island is a different. That's a different type of
show
show.
up on the thing.
Think about women who are bad. Hold on, let's think of a show. What was it about?
You look like a man.
That's a Mad TV sketch called Mrs. Kwan. And he said he looked like a man.
Oh. My mistake. $21.
Okay. See how it just disappears after you finish watching it.
Yeah, it's in your watch history though. Unless you're clearing your watch history. You go to your account and then I don't know stuff. Usually it's pretty obvious. I don't know if you could do it through the app. I remember you couldn't do it through the app for a long time.
I'm on my computer.
Oh yeah, you just go through the.
Recent device streaming activity.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
That's not it. It's showing the devices that streamed it.
That's why. What?
This TV streamed this show on this day. Were you watching Naked Women on television?
Oh, viewing activity.
There you go.
Pieces of Her. Found it. The show called Pieces of Her.
Pieces of my ass.
No. I picked those up for you.
Is that?
I found them under the couch.
Why? That's where it went. God, I do.
That's what's her face? Toni Collette, right?
It might be. I don't remember the cast names.
I think it's Toni Collette.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Toni Collette.
Yeah.
Mass shooting or something. I don't know. I saw a poster for it
shooting,
a month ago.
Small shooting, but that's it's not even the main thing in the show.
Oh,
it kind of starts off as this typical show with the girl's I think she's close to 30, and she turns 30 that day. They go to lunch. Some guy shoots up a couple people because the girl broke up with him, and then
she died. She never turned 30. Instead, she aged backwards.
No, she didn't die. Another girl and her mom did. But all this stuff unravels, and suddenly, nothing's or nobody is who she thought they were in her life, in the girl's life, and she's trying to figure out who everybody is and what happened in the past and who her mom is and all this stuff.
Okay. So the mom is Toni Collette, not the girl. I would have to assume, because Toni Collette's 50-something. Can't imagine she's playing a 30-year-old. Kevin, you know Toni Collette.
Yeah, sure.
Knives Out. She's the woman who's stealing money from the old guy for her skincare business.
Oh, her. Okay.
Yep.
Fran.
There you go.
No, not Fran. Nope.
I forget her name.
I don't remember her name.
Toni Collette.
Good actress.
Oh, fantastic. She's in a bunch of stuff. Yeah. She's great.
Tammy Vii Nes.
What?
Toni Collette, Tammy Vii Nes? That's another name?
Huh?
I'm sure it's a name, I guess.
You sure?
Somewhere. I don't know. Maybe it's a name of a person somewhere. Tammy Vii Nes.
Yeah, Joe Blagadaccio.
What?
That's a Peacemaker reference.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not going to watch that show, so. Anyway. Okay. All right. Destino, thank you. I appreciate it. The fact that Kevin's just yeah, you welcome. right.
I need
Well,
help. All right.
that's all right. We got a couple topics today. Kevin,
I got
do you want to start
two,
us
baby.
off?
Oh, sure. I got to rapid fire through my topics. So we
Oh
don't
my
take
God!
too much
What is
time.
happening?
What are you doing? Are you
Are
opening
you
a canister?
fighting? You sound like you're fighting with like a plastic divider that's put up at stores because of COVID. That's what it sounds like.
He's fighting. You know what he's fighting? It's those chests that eat people from Dark Souls. That's what he was fighting just now. Those like.
It's not real,
fate-looking
man.
chests.
Plastic divider.
It's got that like plastic sound. You know what I'm talking about? Destinoto, please confirm what it is.
It's
Oh,
it's a
my God.
divider, but not for
Uh-huh.
store. It's for one of my figures. I have to put them back in the boxes.
Oh,
So I've
Is it
been
Horizon?
no, it's a
oh.
figure from Fate.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
I
Genesis.
wasn't ready for that. Hope.
Kevin, I was right. I was right.
You
It's
were.
a plastic divider. I knew that.
Oh my God. Oh, shit. Okay.
All right,
Family
Kevin.
show. All right, I'm ready.
Take us off.
All right. So,
Take us
first
off.
up-
Take us off.
Yeah, take us off. We're going on the runway. Come on, hop in or you're gonna miss the plane.
Wait,
Now,
we're going down the runway. Hop in? It's already going.
Yeah, exactly.
You can make
jump
it.
on Mission Impossible style.
Okay, all right. Mission Impossible. That's a good reference, Genesis. That's a good reference. I'm gonna actually give that one to you.
Thanks.
I'll
Ooh,
give
look
you.
at
I'll
that.
give you a
All
4. I'll give you a 4 for that.
Out of 5?
Finished
None of your
Out of
business.
30.
Oh God.
I finished Momentum and got the ending for walking away because they actually allow you to do that. You can just leave. First game like I've ever played where you can just leave and be like, no, I'm done with this shit.
Some indie games do that more often.
Far
now.
Cry
I've seen
6
that
did
as
that.
a thing.
Oh, really?
Also,
Nice.
Far Cry 4 and 5.
Yeah, I haven't played Far Cry games.
Good, you
That's
don't
cool
have to.
though. And then, I got the worst ending, I guess. I don't know. It's C out of A, B, C, and then D is walking away. So I guess no, not. Hold on. C is walking away. B is in. I got the S and the A ending, or I'm going after next, because you gotta go S A B,
You gotta
just
go
like
for
the
the
alphabet.
sexual ending and then the
Technically,
apprehensive
Arkham
ending.
Knight did it too, because there was that
And
Catwoman
then
ending.
the bad ending. And then
I don't know what Genesis
cadaver
is going
ending.
through right now. Yeah. So
And
anyway, finish the game. I already reviewed it prior episode. I don't remember what episode number that was. You can go
probably
find it.
82.
Nope.
Or
So
81.
it was like 50 something or 60 something. Anyway.
Was it that far back? Oh God.
Oh heck yeah! So I finally finished the game. It's a very good game. I highly recommend it to anybody who likes the survival horror games of days past. Basically, Resident Evil 1, Silent Hill 1. Um, yeah, really those two. This kind of harkens back to both relatively equally. Um, really good game. Not terribly difficult, but it doesn't really need to be. It took me 7 hours playing casually to beat it, so this next run through will probably be around like 4. Um, and then I should have platinum for the game. Yay!
Nice.
Nice.
Nothing really I can complain about, except that there's no option to what I personally like to have is what do they call it normally? Cursor memory, I think is what it's normally called, where wherever your cursor is in a menu, when you like change tabs or whatever, it goes back to where you were. So like it doesn't do that. It always goes to the top left. So when you're like, I'm gonna combine this item with the one that's next door, as soon as you combine, it goes back up to the top left corner of the things. You have to go to the item, all the way to the item, and not just be like, oh, combine this with the thing to the right of it. Can't do that. But that's a minor gripe. That's it's not like when you enter your menus, the game isn't paused. It is paused, so you can take all the time you want. Don't matter. Um, Pretty much everything else the game just did super right. I was thoroughly impressed with how well combat worked for a sort of top top-down-ish side-scrolling game. I don't know. It's an interesting like perspective to have melee combat be the main focus, but like it works. There's enough of a leeway in there for you to like hit things before they hit you, and it's not just like trading blows, which is amazing. I don't know. They pulled that off wonderfully. It's almost as though like the enemies have to get closer than they should have to before they can actually like attack the player to give the player that much more of a chance to like hit and run successfully. And yeah, that's about it. So I highly recommend. I don't remember how much it is. It's like $25 or less now. So
I think
yeah,
it's at like 20 or 25 bucks when
yeah.
you bought it or something like that.
So if it goes on sale, 100% it's worth it. It's already worth
Mm-hmm.
it. Um, the company Obscure Tales has something coming soon. DM. There was a little video clip and there's some pictures on their Twitter of a game that
Uh,
looks more like Silent Hill than
real quick,
Resident Evil.
that game is
Yeah.
$16, currently on sale for $9.59.
Ooh.
Offer ends
Highly
March
recommend.
24th. So
There you go.
Goodbye.
Jump on it.
Goodbye, audience. Get it?
Super good.
goodbye. That's the end, I guess. I don't know why
Yeah.
Genesis is ending it, but all right,
I
sorry to
didn't
cut
say.
you
I
short,
didn't say.
Kevin.
No, I didn't say the
So
end. I said
that's that.
audience.
Anything?
You said
Anybody have
goodbye.
anything?
Oh, I see. Yeah. So. I see what you did there.
No, I have nothing to
Yeah.
add.
All right, cool. So that's that. So first topic, real quick, coming off the back of that. Something I randomly thought of. I don't believe games have done this yet. And as I was reasoning through it, I'm like, you know what? There's actually some potential here that I'm not necessarily opposed to. If a game is being made, right, like Lamentum, although this doesn't quite fit the bill because I say the endings that they provide, I watched the ending cutscenes for what I didn't get. All the endings end the game. But if you're developing a game that has multiple endings, why not go into the project being like, all right, well, and again, this probably doesn't fit every game, but you go into the project and at least think about, like, all right, do we want to plan some small DLCs or game updates that expand upon either all of our multiple endings or the ones that we think are the most important? Because you can then release a game, see how it does while you're still working on all the story elements and like the gameplay and stuff for the DLCs or content updates to play out further past the endings and like actually show what they coalesce into. See how your game did, see if it warrants a sequel or a prequel or whatever the hell, and then you can then tailor some of the DLC to play directly into a sequel for the game. Thoughts?
Okay. So let me just make sure I'm understanding.
Yeah.
So normally a game would have a canon ending and then other multiple endings that are not canon, correct?
Right.
The DLC
Like Silent
normally,
Hill. That's
yeah,
the best.
DLC will normally play off of the canon ending and expand upon that ending. But in this case, there's multiple DLCs that expand on all of the endings because any one of them could potentially be canon. And when the sequel is made, those DLCs that you completed for the multiple endings can then translate to the next game and feed into that story of that game, depending on how you ended the original one.
Mm-hmm. Or you at least allow the player to play out more of an, because sometimes when games end with multiple endings, you're like, okay,
I want to know
what happens next? Yeah,
Yeah.
you could play that. They could choose which ending they think is going to be the one to like build the sequel off of if they
Okay.
wanted to do that. Or
That's an interesting one.
if multiple endings could play into the same game, I'm sure that's possible somehow. Yeah, run with it.
That's an interesting thought. I like that idea. There's a couple of games that are in mind that I would think that would work the best for. One of them being the Nier series, because the Nier series has, like, I don't know, 15 or 12 different endings or something like that, and they all end. But if you had DLC that expanded upon all those, I mean, that's already a long 40 to 50 hour game.
Right.
You extend them all the way to like almost 60 hours, depending on how long each ending goes for. Another one would be Persona series. Instead of just giving the story. I mean, yes, they have a story, and there's the ending to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Give a Persona game that has multiple endings, and then based on how you end, there's different DLCs you can buy or add to the game, and you can expand on those endings to see what else has happened because of the ending that you chose and all the choices
Right.
you made.
And then, like, another way you could do this, to butt in real quick,
Yeah.
because we're kind of always talking about, like, multiple DLCs, like a DLC per ending. You could even be like, here's one DLC that the endings, and there's just a menu like play ending A, ending B, ending C.
Oh, like a
Because you could just bundle it all, as opposed to like having the having I don't know 4 or 5 different DLCs for whatever endings you want to expand on, and people are like, "Oh, they're just doing money grabs." If you bundle it all together, people are less likely to say that.
I have a question, and I feel like I
Yeah.
should ask it now before we get deeper into this.
Okay.
Is this something that's already happened,
I
or
don't
is
believe
this
so.
something that you're speculating?
It's something that it's not even speculation. It's more of a why hasn't this been done yet? Because I'm pretty sure no one's done it.
I have maybe two possible reasons for why it hasn't been done.
Shoot.
The first reason is that a lot of the games where they rely heavily on like multiple endings usually don't have a sequel, like Quantic Dream games, um, like stuff like that. They usually don't. They're
they're
usually like,
one-offs or one
yeah, they're
shots.
usually one and done. Um, and then the
Oh,
other reason is, I'll give an example. Infamous 2, there's two endings to it, the good ending and the bad ending. The studio said the bad ending was canon, but since most people played the good ending, Infamous Second Son, it followed the canon ending of the good ending. Because most people didn't see the bad ending. So it would be a lot of work for something a lot of people won't see. So I could see why like big games don't do it. Smaller games they might do it, but it still seems like a lot of work to put DLCs out for multiple different endings that a lot of people won't see.
That's fair.
Because not a lot of people will play the game over and over and over to get every
Right, right,
ending.
right. Yeah, that's a
That's
valid point.
that's a small group of people, and people who and you're trying to sell DLC for the games. Like you want DLC to go out to everybody for the game because that means more people will buy the DLC.
Hmm.
If your game has 10 endings and this DLC only affects one of them, then only the people who played that one ending are going to buy the DLC. Or the people who didn't read the DLC see there's new DLC for the game, be like, I don't see anything new for this. And then complain about your game because your DLC doesn't offer anything new as far as they're aware.
Hmm.
So I can see some complications with it. It's a cool
good
idea
points.
in practice, like as an idea, but I don't know if it'll ever be done on like a large scale. So
It brings up decent points at that. I agree with the points,
Yeah, yeah.
honestly speaking.
Hmm.
I think it's an interesting concept nonetheless. Uh,
yeah,
Realistically, would anybody do it? Maybe, maybe a smaller indie game that like doesn't take a lot of resources to do probably would do that.
Hmm.
Um, the only game that I can think about that has multiple endings and goes from game to game that has more than one sequel is the Drakengard and Nier series, because you play Drakengard 1, 2, 3, which then goes into Nier Replicant and Nier Automata, and they all had multiple
Hmm.
endings, but they all played into one another, although one was a canon ending and the rest of them didn't matter. They were just different endings you could see at the end of it. Um, I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know. A game could
I
have
just think
multiple
that like
endings, but
certain games that have multiple endings, it's like it would be neat to play on past where the game ends in certain scenarios. Like
just
especially
to
ones where
see
like
what
the
happens.
player character is put into like a weird situation. Like I'm trying to think of some of Silent Hill's endings. Like any of the Alien endings in Silent Hill would be
Well,
great.
what
Well,
about like Mass Effect endings? Are those considered like where they had multiple DLC that
I don't know those endings that well, but
they had three endings for Mass Effect 3 and Mass Effect 1 and 2. I mean, you could have like different characters dead and stuff like that. But then the ending wasn't. You have to eventually bring it to like an end is the ideal. I think what I like about this idea is there doesn't have to be like an actual canon conclusion. But the only thing that's throwing me off is like if you want to make a sequel to it, that's just kind of just screws it up. Like I could see. I'll just give a random made up example. If Heavy Rain got DLC for the ending, like I would have loved DLC for that police officer. Because he gets addicted to the VR sunglasses that he has, or the AR sunglasses. If you like screw up, if you make the right choices, he can fight that addiction. But I would love to see DLC where it's like a little spin-off of him being addicted to it, and you are like just fighting reality, trying to get out of that. That would have been so cool. I don't know how many people would have played that, but that's like the possibilities for this are cool. I think what this is, we just want more of the games we like. And
that's fair.
It also kind of sucks when some ideas are kind of explored in games, and then it's like, okay, well, you know, that's one of like 12 endings here. Here's another one that's partially explored. I feel like in a way it's also, hey, your multiple endings aren't providing a satisfying conclusion where I want more, or they're satisfying enough where, hey, if I don't get more, that's okay, but I love the world so much, I just wish I was in it more. So it's a lot of interesting aspects of this.
I would agree with that. I would agree that there's definitely a lot of different points a lot of different directions you can take this idea and go. It's not just a linear direction, especially.
There's multiple endings to this conversation, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
See what I did there?
It gives the devs the freedom to say, it's not really like they're giving you the choice of like what is canon and what isn't, but they just give you the choice of like, well, if you don't like this ending, it doesn't have to be this one. It could be this one. But then I don't know if a dev would take all that time and do it. Like Adam mentioned before,
Right.
It just takes a lot of time, resources, effort, and money. And if they're not going to recoup on the money, I mean, I really don't think they're going to sink it in to do that. You know, they're not going to sink the money to do that. So, again, a fantastic concept, but gets very, I guess, not the word confusing, but it gets very involved when you get to a certain point. You know,
Kevin, do you mind if I ask a question to everybody?
No.
Out of curiosity, do you prefer your games to have multiple endings, or do you prefer like just a story that's one ending, like it's somebody's vision and it's over, or it gets a sequel?
Genre.
See, I would say no matter what, I prefer only one ending.
Depends on the genre. If it's a survival horror game, I want as many endings as possible.
Okay.
Freaking Clock Tower 2 had endings like A through S or T. There were so many endings to that game, and it was great trying to just find them all. But I like that aspect. Like, I want to find all the endings in a game that I'm thoroughly enjoying, and that I like to play. And but like, would I want multiple endings in an action RPG? Probably not. Um, Most of the time, they're like, "Oh, here's the good ending and the bad ending." Like actually you being good or you being bad.
Yeah.
And they're usually pretty terrible.
Hey, you made the right
Like
decisions or you made the
RPGs.
wrong decisions.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're a good person. Yeah, you're a bad person. It's like, okay, I guess. Like, sure.
Like I always think back to Infamous 2 and go, I mean I liked the bad ending, but I prefer the good ending. I played both. But like if it was up to me and I was the studio, I would have definitely said, well, really only give the good ending because the bad ending is not, we're definitely not going to create. If they actually made a direct sequel to Infamous 3 and they wanted to pick up and not piss off people, they would have to make two completely different games.
Yeah. But I think like almost every survival horror game should have multiple endings. I just feel like this is the best way to go with those games.
Okay.
It makes the most sense too, because I guess it's not even just like survival horror. Let's go horror in general. Like horror in general has multiple ways that like scenarios will play out. How many people are dead? Did you just run away or did you stick it out? Did you become cursed by the end of it? Were you sacrificed at the end of it? Did you just decide to become like a Satan worshiper by the end of it? Like there's just so many possible ways that a story can go by default in the
Yeah.
horror
Be a Satan
genre.
worshiper. That's what I did.
Until Dawn. Yeah.
Right.
That's those games basically. Yeah.
Right.
That's a good point.
But then, like I said, like action adventure games, it's tough because if you're not doing like, oh, here's the good guy ending and the bad guy ending, then what other multiple endings are you doing? They're usually trying to tell like some sort of definitive story and not present a scenario. Is that the difference?
I think that would be the difference because
Yeah.
telling
Because
a
like Until
specific
Dawn,
story.
yeah, Until Dawn tells a story, but also it's not a story. It's like here's the scenario people are going through. Now,
It's all
what
those
end point are you
dark
going to be
anthology
at?
games. That's exactly
Right.
how they run. They're telling a story, but the story is not the main thing of the game. It's what the characters in that story are going through. And they're using that scenario and saying, okay, here's what you're given. We're going to tell a story through what these people are going through, but you determine how that story progresses. Does this person's story end here? Does that person's story continue past this point? How, I think that's where that idea can probably be used the best for kind of expanding on multiple endings like that, because
Mm-hmm.
when I used Persona earlier, and that's more of a, hey, here's a long, almost 100-hour story, right? We want you to understand all that's happening in this game. It's not really a scenario that's playing out. You're following a linear
Right.
path that has, yes, it has deviations based on choices you pick, but it all ultimately leads to one end, where, like the Dark Anthology games, you don't know what's going to be by the end once you've taken those deviations you've taken. I think the Dark Anthology is probably a close example of what, of the topic you're talking about, because those are sequels to one another,
Yeah.
right? And
Not. We don't know that. Right
oh,
now, they're separate
Well,
stories.
ooh, that's tough. We know that they're sequels and they're part of the same anthology.
They're
because the
part of the
same
same
man, the same
thing.
curator keeps talking to you.
Yeah, yeah, and he's taking them off the shelves, literally,
Correct.
like they're like books. But see, maybe this game will actually do something akin to what we're talking about right now, where it goes, all right, here's like, because there's only 4 books on the shelf right now, but like there's apparently 9 games now in the anthology that have been
Yeah,
planned
yeah.
out. So like, what's game 5? Do we go to a different bookshelf?
Now,
Or do we start to go into whatever the actual world is where this curator is?
so if your game is multiple different endings and then you get DLC for the endings and then you get a sequel, it wasn't really an ending. You're just telling a really, really long story that you couldn't fit in one game then.
Sure.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But like,
Which I mean, is that a bad thing?
No.
no, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. No, I mean, I don't want to sit. I don't want to play. I'll play a game for 100 hours, but if it's literally like break up the story, give me some months in between. Like, yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense. Like,
yeah.
don't do that.
Well, and like I originally brought up too, is like if a company went in and planned on this, if like let's say that this idea, it sounds like we're not opposed to this idea, so like there's money
No,
to be had here for a company. If they went in thinking like this and they're like, all right, we think this game is going to do really well, not 100%. Let's get the story up to a certain point where we can wrap it up for now, see how it does, and we'll kind of like have this DLC just like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We've got it written down. We just got to make like the game work basically. If it does well, is that a feasible scenario for a company, or is that taking too long to actually get to work on that?
I would think that's
I
a
would
gamble for the
say
company too,
I would
because they
say
don't know if it's going
Genesis
to
was right.
succeed.
Genesis was right. The closest thing we have right now to that is the Dark Anthology.
Yeah, that's true.
I think so.
The Dark
Which they're
Figures
just working on
Anthology.
game after game after
That
game.
is
They're
the
going
closest
hard.
one.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can consider the what do you call it, the each game a DLC to one another, because they're not fully priced
Effectively.
games. They're
No, they're
not
not.
oh boy, oh no.
Oh, I don't
They're
want
not.
to happen to you. Oh no.
Oh no. Okay. I'm fine now. Sorry. I stepped away for 2 minutes here.
You
That's
broke your
exactly what
minecart.
happens.
You broke the
Oh
minecart
no.
now.
Hang on. Oh boy. Oh no. All right. Anyway. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's the closest we'll get. But Adam definitely brings good points as to why
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
wouldn't do that. But I think if anybody is gonna try it, it's the guys. It's Supermassive. It's the guys who are making the Dark Anthology.
And the 9th game could literally be like a bunch of different chapters of playing the same stories from the previous 8.
Right.
Like it could all tie in.
Yeah,
like
we have no idea. That could definitely be the thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
could be happening.
That'd be kinda
Interesting.
neat.
Yeah. That's an example I did not think of until we got to that
Yeah,
point. I
it
was
was
like,
good.
oh, Dark Anthology. Yeah, there's no other games that I could think of that would actually be in any sense like that. Maybe the Resident Evil series, since they've been doing the remakes now.
See, like Resident Evil comes to my mind too, because you have, like, if you go back to Resident Evil 2,
Yeah.
and I mean like the original.
Not the remake.
Yeah. You had the main game. What was it? Game A, and then you would unlock the other characters. Game B.
Side B. Yeah.
And then if you complete all of that, you got a different story. Kind of like that is where like you could potentially go with this too. I mean, that was all built into the base game, but Resident Evil 4 had add-on DLCs that sort of told other sides of a story, but it didn't continue an ending.
But see, that's a different thing.
They weren't really DLCs either, though, I don't think. But
no, because that's a different thing
game.
where you complete like one story, the other side of the story unlocks, and then like the combination of like whatever happened afterwards unlocks. That's a different. It's a different thing.
Oh, neat.
But yeah, I know. Interesting topic. I like that topic. That's pretty good.
Any other thoughts? I got one more thing to bring up. Because I'm just loaded with topics today, baby.
Oh, listen. We're all ready for the topics, man.
Okay.
Destinato, you've been quiet. You got any thoughts on this?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Yes, I think it would be pretty neat.
What about it do you think would be neat? I don't know why you do this. I throw you under the bus every time.
The fact that you can have the multiple endings in more than select games.
Sure.
And like I said, the horror genre would be the really good place to start.
Yep. Okay.
Because a lot of them have you make choices, and a lot of them don't really do anything with the choice thing. And
I mean, yeah,
that is fair.
There's a handful of horror games where you just you think it would matter, and it in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't. Whether
or like it.
Keep the thought, Kevin. Keep it.
I don't worry. I got it. It's locked in.
Hold on. Grasp it. Firmly grasp.
Or it makes you think you're going to make a choice, and then you don't make any choice, and it does the choice for you.
The illusion of choice. I hate that.
That's a thing. That's a pet peeve I hate. I hate.
I think we all hate that.
Like, why do you make it seem like I'm going to do something when eventually it was just going to happen anyway? I had no control over that.
The only game I forget Horizon, because they're like, hey, this won't change anything. This is just how Aloy reacts to stuff. Even though your reaction will have literally no impact on anything. But they make that pretty clear. Yeah, it's the only game I forgive. Any other game that's like, hey, do this. And then you're like, okay. And then you're like, oh man, that's what happened? So you go back and you pick the other option and you're like, the same thing happened? What the Oh, I hate it.
Kevin, what have you been firmly grasping in your hand?
I got some bad news for you. I started forgetting it.
Damn.
No, what did, oh, it was something Destination was said about horror games and their
It was
endings.
choices that didn't matter, even though you
That's it,
made them.
choices. Okay, so is it feasible, or is it possible, I guess is a better word, to make a DLC to expand on an ending of a game where choices and stuff mattered, and you choose a save file to bring into that DLC, and you start playing based off the choices you made in that save file and continue forward?
I would say yes, because literally sequels happen like that. It's called Mass Effect.
I was about to say, isn't this an actual thing?
Yeah,
A
it is.
game did
Yeah,
this already.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, I guess. I guess I thought of it like there being more than just like the few decisions and stuff that were made that
You're
like
thinking of
actually
There's
the
quite a
impacted
few
ending.
decisions in Mass
Oh,
Effect.
is there? I've only heard
Yes.
of like really a few. Like to
Th-
me, Mass
there's
Effect is
huge
okay. Well, how many people are still
decisions.
alive? Which that's easy enough to program around.
Sure.
And then like, how did you end the game?
It's not just how many
And like your
people,
equipment.
it's the
The
different characters
relationships with those
also
people.
have completely different dialogue, also have completely
Oh,
different
okay.
side missions.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you could blow up a planet and then take out a bunch of missions that way. It's like, do you remember in Fallout 4 how you could blow up that, or Fallout 3 how you could blow up Megaton?
Yeah.
It's literally every decision carries the weight of that in Mass Effect.
Oh, okay. See,
So,
I didn't know. I never
yeah,
played the games.
yeah.
Well,
Mass
I
Effect
played the
2 is even
multiplayer, right?
more
Yeah.
because it's trying to carry over decisions from Mass Effect 1. And it's just, by the time you get to the end of Mass Effect 2, I remember talking to Crustacean about his ending to Mass Effect 2, and then talking to my friend Alex about his ending for Mass Effect 2. And I thought they were playing different games because
Hmm.
literally nothing lined up. Those people are exact opposite, apparently. Like, it was wild. It was wild. Like, the bad
Okay.
guy isn't even the bad guy in Mass Effect 2 if you make a
Hmm.
different decision at the end of Mass Effect 1.
So yeah, I mean, I think it just keeps coming back to the horror genre. I think the horror genre's got to start the ball rolling with this, which I guess in a way, Dark Pictures Anthology is starting to do that itself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, all right,
Cool.
cool. Other topic I have. This should be a pretty quickie, but it's interesting and it's something that's being reported on a bunch online right now. So back in mid-January, Call of Duty Warzone had a change happen with its Ricochet anti-cheat. Um,
Ricochet.
so the anti-cheat software now is not necessarily focused on banning cheaters slash hackers. Instead, it is going a different route and says, "Oh, we know that you are cheating or hacking, so now your shots are going to do actually no damage or virtually no damage to players, no matter what it is you do."
Hmm.
So, as far as I'm aware, and I've tried to find it, um, I think this is the first and possibly only game to venture away from just different types of bans, like IP bans, username bans, account bans, hardware bans, you name it. Um, so my whole thing is, are we going about this wrong? Should we actually be trying to stray away from just banning and doing other sorts of penalties for cheating and hacking? Because apparently, this anti-cheat change in Warzone is actually drawing a lot of attention, as apparently it's working better than all other anti-cheats out there, and you're seeing the amount of cheaters go down because, okay, yeah, sure, they can make a new account and do it, but if the software is just going to render you useless, then why bother? Thoughts?
Don't mind taking over from here.
Oh, oh.
Excuse
I
me?
am. if you don't mind taking over for a minute here, please. I just have to do something real quick with the child. I
I'll let
apologize.
Genesis go first.
What the? I can't go first.
No, you know what? Destino's gonna go first. Destino,
Go ahead.
jump in here. Or any other ways you think that stopping cheating and hacking would could be explored, or yeah, other ways to explore. There we go. All right, Destino's dead. Adam, you're up.
I would say that we're not
Sorry,
going
I was
about it the
muted.
wrong way, and that there's not one answer to stop people from cheating. I think the one you described, if a lot of people find out about it, there's some people who are going to be willing to try, especially getting on a friend's account and doing it as a joke. I think that's a real possibility.
Yeah.
I think that cheaters are going to cheat. If you ban somebody from doing any damage, if they usually found a way to cheat, they'll probably found a way to either screw somebody's game up in another way by standing in front of like somebody else and like helping the other team win, or like blocking a path, or doing something like that. So I think a full on ban of ISP or IP address ban, I think that's a good way to do it. I do like the little clever things that they do, but I don't think this is that big of a deal.
Okay.
Also, I see no information about how this is working better.
Oh, really? I saw all kinds of articles praising it. All right.
There's people praising it, but there's nothing about how it's like. There's no numbers about how it's actually working better.
Oh. I read headlines.
It's a lot of them are like, "Hey, we're happy Activision's doing something." That's what a lot of it is.
Well, I would think it would do better because, like, now you have to not only make the software that allows you to cheat in the game, but now you have to also circumvent a thing that is constantly checking you, and you don't really know when it's necessarily going to spring a trap on you. I don't know. I'm sure there's programming ways around it. Like, there's always going to be a way to go around any sort of anti-cheat technology, but to have different repercussions that may not present themselves immediately.
Yeah. They also did like a username thing too, where they changed people's usernames to say like I'm a cheater, or like
that's neat. Okay.
yeah, or like please report me, or like something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah. So it's like it's cool that they're doing stuff. I like I said, I honestly think like it's not stopping cheaters isn't a one like there isn't one all fix all method or whatever the hell. Like you gotta use multiple things, and I think going about this way is good. I just don't think like it's as I don't know. I just don't see it as groundbreaking or anything. It's fun for other players to see though.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, Destino, what you got?
Well, I was gonna say it seems like a decent way to handle it, but if you're cheating already, like Adam said, there's probably another way to cheat your way out of that. But then it would definitely deter some people who don't want to take the extra step to try and figure out what like how to get around that. So it's good that they're getting more creative with how they're dealing with cheaters instead of just banning everybody. Because I mean, you could just make another account or get a different IP and play again. And honestly, that's not even that hard to do.
Right.
With like you could just have a VPN and literally change the IP every time you log on if you wanted to, and you're still playing.
Console ban.
Yeah, that comes to hardware. Yeah.
It's possible.
That, but...
Oh yeah, there are games that do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a way to spoof that information or not.
There may. I mean, there's always a way to do.
There was on PS3.
Yeah. No, there's a because I know Sony can ban PlayStation 5s. And I assume their game developers have the ability if they ask Sony to do it, as well as like Microsoft or anybody else. I assume it's possible. So.
Yes, Sonoto. Grant,
Hmm.
I got a specific question for you. Is there cheating in any of the Dark Souls, Demon Souls games?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a lot. Even
Yeah,
I know
Okay.
that.
definitely. I don't come across it too much because I don't play a ton of PvP.
Uh,
But if I get invaded, sometimes, I mean, I don't know how often it happens on console, but I know on PC people go like, they go like, I don't know, full invis and they just wait somewhere and they just stab you and, or
oh,
like, I mean, they could raise their soul level to like whatever the max is in the game and just have all max stats and go invading people and be invincible or something, take no damage and they just kill you.
huh.
Uh, yeah, there's definitely stuff in that too. Any PvP game I would think has, you know, people
Yeah, I
wanting
mean,
to win just
right.
by taking the easy way out. So,
Thanks for filling my time for me. I can give
I
my opinion
also,
now.
I also like what Valorant does from Riot. Um, other games might do this too, but Valorant makes it a lot more noticeable. If someone is cheating in a ranked game, and it's like in the game you're in, and the system decides, okay, we have enough information, we're gonna ban this person, because like it will wait and like gather info so that like if the person's like, I wasn't cheating, Riot can go, well, here's this, and
yeah.
then once it's like confirmed, it'll actually show a message on everyone else's screen that says. A hacker was detected in your game, you will not lose credit for like a loss or whatever like that, and it returns you to the lobby.
What happens to the cheater though?
I didn't know they do
Oh, they
that.
get banned.
Okay.
Ban actually gets issued, but everybody else who is involved in that game like gets a message that says like, oh yeah, by the way, there was someone who was cheating in your game, and we're just gonna get you out of there now. All right, cool.
That's when you get a team, you get a false account, and then you all play, and then if you're doing bad, you set that thing to cheat. That's how you
That's how
that's
you
how
get a
you
perfect win rate.
that's how you get perfect win rate, and that's how you cheat rank system without suffering any consequences.
There you go.
I bet somebody does that. There's no way they
Oh, I'm
don't.
sure.
I bet somebody has at least tried that.
Right.
Um, as far as the system that Warzone is was using to basically have players do virtually no damage, I like it. I think it's a sort of a troll system. Actually, I like that because it makes listen the whole purpose why somebody cheats is so that they can basically be better than everybody else without actually trying. Now, when you take that ability away from them and you render them useless in a game, they're gonna either quit or come back with a different account and try it again and do it over again, and do something else with it. That I think is a more effective way than just simply banning somebody because you are literally stripping them of everything that they have and stripping the reason away that they wanted to cheat in the first place because now they have no choice but to be bad because there's nothing they can do because everything they
Right.
do, bullet, grenade, everything they toss has virtually no effect on anybody else around them. I'm sure there are other creative ways that they could actually get a cheater to say, okay, uh, I'm clearly doing something wrong here. I don't think any of these people learn from what they do, but because they just come on with a different name afterwards and try it again until they get caught again.
I have a
That's how
question.
yeah.
Um, it basically, even though Genesis just said the same thing, like I think we're all in agreement on, I would say. As Genesis was speaking, I thought, wait a minute, if you just make somebody not be able to shoot or like do any damage or anything, isn't that effectively a ban? And they can literally just change their account or like IP address or whatever, like to get around that.
If you Even if you change the IP address, you're still going back into the game with the same algorithm that I believe the
Algorithm? What?
What do you call it? Well, okay, you're going in with the same target that the algorithm of the cheating the anti-cheat software saw you with originally. You can change your IP, but you walk into the lobby again, you're still cheating regardless. That's how it found you the first time, if I'm understanding how that system works. Correct?
Yeah, but then if you ban the IP and then if you don't do that, if you just ban the IP, then you change your IP, then the system will find you again the same way. I just realized that you're basically just shadow banning. And I don't see this being as a big difference, because I feel like you would have to do the same thing, unless there's like something else being done. I don't know. I think Kevin walked away or died.
No, I'm here.
No. You were shadow banned.
I was shadow banned, yeah.
He wasn't
That's
banned to
another thing
Shadow
that
Realm.
happens is I think shadow ban has different
You know what I'm asking
terms.
though, Kevin?
I was busy talking to another person.
Yeah, see? Kevin
I
walked
missed
away.
it.
I was saying, like, if you're basically just, if you're not, so effectively, if you can't do any damage to people, aren't you just basically banned, but in a different way?
No.
And could you not just do the same methods to unban yourself?
I mean, yeah, you have to make a new account and everything. And it would basically be the same thing, but it's more, if you get banned, you're just kicked off the game immediately. Boom,
Yeah.
done. If you have this going on, you're being trolled by the game itself, being like, haha, we caught you. And I don't know, it's more...
It's more of like a personal attack than anything.
Yeah, it has more of like a personal thing going for it than just like, oh, you got banned. Try
I
again.
feel like if you know what you're doing, you would realize immediately what's happening, and then you're like, okay, and then you just quit out of the game.
I mean,
what if the game doesn't let you quit out?
That is, I'm pretty sure, going into the realms of legalities, but...
Yeah, they're interesting. I like that idea. Well,
I
technically,
like the approach.
no, because Kevin, remember, there's the whole Sims thing, where that if you pirated a copy of the game, the anytime your sim got nude, that it would get blurry. But if you pirated it, it would grow the blurriness, and you literally couldn't close the game. You had to like force close your computer.
Oh, that's true. You can
Yeah.
Because there are games that you cannot exit an online match from. You just have to turn the game off.
Yeah.
Right? So
probably.
Yeah, there are. Yep, the Ledger says that.
Principle applies where if you're caught cheating, right, and they render you useless in the game, you also just can't quit the game. Like, meaning go back to the main menu of the game. You have to fully just close out of it. And then when you go back in, what if there's a message on there that says, hey, you can't start this game back up because you're banned. If it's an online-only game, not something that you single-player paid for.
Yeah.
So the legalities don't come into play.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, if you're using online servers, you agreed. You also agreed to online server stuff. Like, hey, you agreed to play this game in a certain way, even if you paid $70.
I thought you meant like it would like hard lock your computer, and then it's like, well, no, hold on.
No, it can't destroy your computer. No, like
no,
it can't. Hey, well, but you can ban your like video game console.
Yes.
So I guess technically, hey, you cheated. We gave you a virus.
Oh, that is illegal.
That's messed up. But also, we have all your tax information. Send us $500 in Epic Store bucks, V-Bucks, and we'll give you the money. We'll let you play again.
My God.
I mean,
maybe that's what it should be. Hey, you're caught cheating. We'll send you a bill.
That would be an interesting one.
In our terms of service, if you cheat, you owe us $5 for every infraction.
That's not a bad idea.
Okay. That's not a terrible idea.
Look at that.
The
That's
only thing with
that,
though, is like, what if it's wrong?
Well, then, well, the video game company would have to prove it, and then you can dispute it, like how you can dispute any bans.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Why
The
has
only
this
thing
not
that's
been
messed
implemented
up
already?
is you would have to.
Oh, no. You know what you could do?
Oh,
Is you could say, oh, okay, you're caught cheating, $5. If you want to file a dispute and you lose, we double it.
$10.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then how do you make sure that person plays or pays it before they change their IP or
Have it
whatever?
increased. It's a bill.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, how do you make the person? How do you make sure you're getting the person who's doing it? It would be the
Oh,
same
I see
issue
what
of
you're
like
saying. Yeah.
stopping the
No, I see what
person
you're saying.
from
Sure.
cheating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you're
right.
like,
Because you don't have to put your actual information
correct.
in.
Yeah.
And a video game company can't get that information.
Unless you have to
The
tie your
government.
Facebook account into it. So Metaverse, here we come.
I mean, your PlayStation account has your billing address, wouldn't it?
You can fake that. I have a European account that has a billing address in Europe, and I pay through PayPal.
So
A
wouldn't they just
PayPal that
trace
I
your...
send money to. That's not under my real name because I already have a PayPal under my real name.
But what do you use to send the money to the PayPal?
PayPal.
That has your real name in it.
Correct.
So wouldn't they just trace that to
They
the
would
PayPal
have to
and then
reach out
trace
to
the PayPal?
PayPal, and PayPal would not provide that information.
Unless they have
Yep.
justification, because you signed terms and conditions.
It wouldn't be worth going through the process.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's how like Cash App scams happen. Because Cash App's like just only send money to people you know, and then if you like send money to someone you don't know, and they're like, we're not dealing with this. Like PayPal's the same way with stuff like that.
I guess, yeah, there'd have to be an updated terms of service that
Yeah.
includes, like, hey, if, we're going to bill you, you need to provide something to us that is tangible and we can verify.
Yeah, you want no cheating? There could be nobody anonymous on the internet. Problem solved.
Which, that is a whole privacy issue with people. And,
That's a whole
people and
thing.
their privacy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's crazy. Crazy stuff.
So, yeah, not a bad topic. I like that. That's actually pretty
Not a
good.
bad topic. He won't give it a compliment. He'll just say it's not a bad topic.
Okay, it's a very good topic.
Wasn't here for half of it. Has no idea what he's talking about. First half sucked.
Good lord.
You weren't here. First half sucked. It was real bad. Kevin walked away. We can say whatever we want.
Yeah, it was like a vacuum cleaner.
What?
A vacuum cleaner.
It sucked.
You talking about?
Anyway.
Oh, okay.
We moved on.
Got it.
We move on.
Genesis, what's your topic?
All right, well, gentlemen, I got a topic here. So, we've all heard about remakes and how they're very popular with in today's day and age, with all the old games getting remade and all that.
Past 30 years, they've been popular.
Come on, Quake, baby.
100%, absolutely.
Come on, Wolfenstein enemy territory.
There is also the opposite topic of a demake, correct. Bloodborne and Elden Ring both have had unofficial remakes at this point. And it seems to be something that the internet is interested in. At least, a good portion of the internet is interested in. And they're looking at,
You should probably tell your daughter that you're not threatening to demake her. Sounds like she's pretty upset.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, I think, yeah, she's... What I want to ask the panel here is, demakes, is that something that is going to be is going to catch on like remakes did? Because you look at it this way, you have you have these high-end games like, let's take Horizon for example, that you pull back to like a PlayStation 1 era, and you put the game down to that and say, okay, look at what the game looks like here, how it operates, how it does all that. Does this catch on to the internet to say, hey, we actually might like this? You demake some of the very high-end, high-fidelity games down to PS1 to see what they would look like, and people would pay money for that. I don't know if people have paid money for the Bloodborne remake.
Not legally allowed to do that. So if they have, they shouldn't have.
Right. So I'm assuming nobody has.
It's usually a fan project.
But yes, there's a lot
They
of
could
people.
probably donate to the person if anything.
Yeah, like the avatar creator guy on Dreams.
There have been, I mean, the internet has a good fan following for the Bloodborne remake, and the same thing goes for the Elden Ring remake. It just got my thoughts going of like, is remake something that we need, or is it just something that is like, hey, it's just something that's there for the time being, and they decided to do it with two specific games, and that's the reason why they did it. What is the panel's thoughts on remakes, and do we think we need something like that? Adam already said no. I know that. You want to give a reasoning, Adam?
I'll let Kevin go first.
Okay.
I'm educating myself on what this is, so.
I'll let Desunoto go first.
Oh,
jeez.
I have seen it, and I thought it did look cool. The fact that it's also free, you don't have to pay money for it, is nice. And it kind of, brings it's like more of that what remakes do. It's like a nostalgia factor, but in a different way, because instead of it being brought up to modern day standards, it's being brought back to what classic games look like, which is pretty cool sometimes. Like the Bloodborne one just looks really neat to play, even though it doesn't look amazing. It's not supposed to. It's just supposed to look like kind of like a novelty game, or novelty version of the game. Yeah, it's cool.
A lot of this comes from the nostalgia factor that people get when they play a PS1 game or things like that, or old style games where they're like, man, I wish games were like this again. This feels better, this and that, or this really brings me back to how games were. That's why they're putting a remake project like that. So I'm like, I don't know.
Get out of the past, old man.
I mean, I would agree. I like the new stuff, but at the same time, I look at higher end games and I'm like, what would that look like on a PS1? What would that look like if we just took the graphics away from it, put it all the way back down to a PS1 title? What would that look like?
Kevin, are you ready to go, or you need more time?
Or Last of Us?
So let's see. I mean, it's neat to see it. I don't know that I would play them. I'm currently looking at Final Fantasy VII NES. That's apparently a thing. I think it's kind of cool that people are doing this, for sure. I think if you take this a step further, I would be interested.
What do you mean
and
by
what
a
I
step
mean
further?
by that? What I mean by that is like, okay, Serious Sam. This is kind of a bad example because there actually is a game that is a side scroller, but like Serious Sam is a first person shooter. If you demade it and turned it into a side scroller, which I guess they sort of kind of did, okay, now I have a whole different experience. But to just have like a first person shooter with worse graphics, why am I playing the same game again? I mean, it could have better graphics. I'm still playing the same thing, unless like they add things or whatever. But if you change the perspective or something of a game, like if you had Doom become a side scroller somehow, okay.
Yeah, there's also the things of like if you change the perspective of a game. So let's say you took Horizon, which is a third-person action adventure game, and turned it into a PS1 2D style side scroller. What would that do? And how would that be?
I'd try it.
First of all, you guys are talking about two different things. Talking about genre spin-offs and demakes.
Well, a demake can, because you see, you can put a demake down to a point where maybe the technology that's in the games today don't exist then. So maybe you have to change the way the game is and demake it into something that's older. So if you were to change Horizon into a 2D action adventure game instead of being a 3D, because let's say we put it back to the NES era and there's no 3D then.
What?
Oh my god. Mega Man with a Horizon skin.
Okay. Again, so you can make a 2D or a 2D, a 2.5D Horizon game, but you don't
Okay.
have to make it look like a PS1 game. Like, what the point of a demake is to, like, hey, what would this look like and play like if it was a PlayStation 1 game? The reason I said no so quickly is because you said that, will this become as popular as remakes? Whatever the hell you said. That's why I was like, what? No. Like, that's why I jumped on it. I think demakes are cool, and I think that fans will do them. Will other companies do them? Like, will actual companies do them? Probably not. Will they do spin-offs? Like, will they make a simpler version of, like, a Hitman? Yeah, they did. Hitman Go. Will they make a simpler version of Assassin's Creed? Yeah, they did those little side-scrolling ones. They're called phone games. Those are technically demakes in my mind. But they're just genre spin-offs. Like, you can make smaller experiences. Demakes are its own, like, little fandom thing. Like, hey, I want to know what this would look and play like if it was bad 20 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool if you want to do it, but no, it's not going to be popular forever.
No, it's a good point. Genre spin-off is something different, and yeah, I guess that I would have to agree with you that is more a genre spin-off than just a demake. If we were to change, like, the example we were using of changing Horizon from a 3D to a 2D, 2.5D type of thing.
Right. I mean, I definitely don't want it to stop, or anything like that. Like, I think there's gonna be enough of a following for it to just, like, continue.
Yeah.
People are gonna be interested in this kind of stuff.
Technically, it's happening in the real world because there's that Metal Gear type of game that's, like, ridiculous. That's like it's back to being 2.5D or whatever. I forget what it's called. Kevin, we saw it at E3 and you thought it was cool. It was like harkening back to the original Metal Gears.
Oh, okay.
And it was like a comedy thing.
Remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metal Slug Tactics? Is that it?
No.
That's something else. Yeah. Something else. It was something. But it's it kind of
remember this.
It kind of already happens, but that's like a small studio doing like its own little spin. I wouldn't consider that really a demake. It's like, hey, what is this on this? Like, I think it looks cool and it will continue in like a fandom, but I don't think a studio will ever be like, let's make Horizon look worse and play worse than Horizon currently plays.
Okay, I think we're all in agreement that demakes are just an unofficial fan thing that some people like to do, and they're cool, but they're never going to catch on with a remake.
I didn't even know. I appreciate you bringing this up so I can have a new thing to look at.
No,
I'll find some
saw it and I was like, you know,
of Final Fantasy VII on NES.
I was like, let's talk about that. Why not?
Yeah,
that was fun.
I wonder if here's the offshoot of this though.
Yeah.
Is there ever gonna be a way? Because like okay, emulation's a thing, right? Mm-hmm. And usually emulators run in the sense of like, oh, you're emulating an NES, you're emulating Commodore, whatever the hell you're emulating, whatever system. But would you ever be able to make a thing that took in, I guess this would be way too complicated to program, but like you take in a game and it downscales it on its own?
Probably. Because there's upscaling automatically.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know who's working on that technology, but some practical joker out there is like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I don't mean the hit show.
Right. Like, you know, because, like, I mean, everybody found out ways to do, like, one of the crazes that was going on just a couple of years ago was randomizers for every freaking thing under the sun, like Super Metroid, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past,
Yeah,
randomizers, and all that stuff. Which
there's a
like
lot of them
people
now.
had to make all of that. Yeah, so maybe they're maybe. I'm excited. I gotta look into this.
Communities, they do a lot of stuff.
They do. They do a lot of things. Some communities do good things, some communities do bad things, but all right,
Wow,
we want
what
to
an ending.
talk about. I mean, yeah, some communities are absolute garbage, but you want to talk about rumors, guys? I got some rumors here.
Got some room? Yeah, we can do rumors.
All right. So I want to start out with one here, talking about our favorite company, Ubisoft, the best people in the world, the most amazing people in the world. I really love them, praise them. They're messiahs for
Turning
me.
into Trump?
Should have doused them in gas and light them all on fire. I mean,
Oh, okay. He's
Are
they're
you
he's
really
turning
being
nice
into
people.
Trump?
Wow.
We'll build a wall around them. So
That wall
Ubisoft,
actually might be effective, so honestly.
honestly, Ubisoft seemingly ditching the Tom Clancy brand for X Defiant. Um, they look like they're moving the whole brand off of that. I would think because X Defiant looks absolutely garbage.
Hey,
And should have never
hey.
been a Tom Clancy game. That's my opinion. When I saw
Oh,
that,
that's fine.
I was like, I don't understand. But if they're
I'm going to
removing it,
disagree that that's your opinion. I think that's somebody else's opinion.
Huh?
the, what?
Now, wait a minute.
I'm just kidding.
Um, this is a tweet from Tom Henderson. Tom Henderson says Ubisoft
Ooh,
seemingly
right.
ditching the Tom Clancy brand for X Defiant seems like a good choice. Well, the accounts I've heard, the game is trying too hard to be mainstream, but it'll be interesting to see if anything has changed these past several months. We haven't
I'm
seen this
sorry.
game
What?
since last June.
Yeah, since the trailer. Was that June?
Mm-hmm. That was
Yeah.
June. Yeah. Any thoughts on this?
Good.
Yeah. What the hell does it mean that this game is trying to be too mainstream? It's a shooter. How do you not be mainstream?
I think it's trying to be like Fortnite.
I think they say mainstream,
No.
but the word they're
If
thinking
anything,
is
it's being like
generic.
Call of Duty. Yeah.
I think the
I
word
think
they're
it's
thinking is
generic.
generic, not mainstream, even though they
Yeah.
said mainstream.
It's too generic. Okay, that sounds
Because
good.
when
Here's what I
that
think.
trailer debuted, a lot of people were like, "This looks like an amalgamation of garbage."
Here's what I think though about it losing its Tom Clancy, or not losing, but they're venturing away from Tom Clancy, uh, huh, branding. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically it's not
branding.
gonna be
Yeah.
Tom Clancy's X Defy. Oh, branding's right. Okay. Um, I think it's a good move for what the game looks like because now you're not necessarily tied into having like realistic looking character models. You can go nuts and have like really eccentric characters, which would probably fit the vibe of the game a little bit more. And also the title of the game because X Defiant doesn't make any sense with Tom Clancy's before it. Especially since you have the whole XD thing going on. Like you
Casey?
could go more like a graffiti-ish style to like the whole game. Have
Mm.
a lot more colorful environments, have more colorful
Well,
Taking
characters,
Tom
didn't
done
Clancy's
Rainbow
some
Six
branding
wild
as
skins
well.
on
Extraction
them.
do that?
That was more alien thing, like an
Yeah, but it was
alien type thing.
colorful and it wasn't realistic looking, was it?
It was
Yeah, it was.
realistic. That
Oh
was
yeah.
realistic looking. Yeah.
Oh
Just not
man.
aliens, obviously, but
Oh god, when I looked at that, no, okay, okay, well,
I mean, the color yellow popped out a bit much, but other than that, everything looked realistic. Looked pretty realistic, environment wise.
yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And yep. X Defiant. There you go.
oh god.
I don't know. I didn't. I'm not turned off by this at all. I'm more intrigued to see what they do with it. Because, like, I guess here's my thing. If you're gonna say, all right, guys, the heck with saying Tom Clancy's X Defiant. X Defiant is just gonna be its own thing. If you're gonna make it its own thing, Now you got to go with that.
Ooh,
Make it its own thing. Give it an identity. You know
I'll
what I
tell
mean?
you what, though. I'll tell you what. Want to know what this
Yeah.
reminds me of? It
Uh-huh.
reminds me of classic Ubisoft decisions of, let's just remove the brand so the brand doesn't take a hit.
I mean, sure. There's that angle too.
I don't know
Yeah.
why they wouldn't have done that for Assassin's Creed so long, but I guess okay.
Ooh, get
Again,
ya.
Assassin's Creed sells really well. Valhalla is the most profitable Assassin's Creed they've ever made. I'm sorry. I understand you hate it, but I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's not you, Adam. It's not you. You're just trying to make me understand something, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course, of course.
My God, shoot me. Oh, help.
Any other thoughts on this one before I move on to the next one? Alrighty. Next one. I'm sure we've read this enough times this week already, but Perfect Dark has apparently gone through a soft reboot. Could be several years away.
Thank God.
A couple of key devs have left. I'm actually pulling up the article from VGC right now.
It's like 50.
Yeah, there's a lot, and there's very good talent from. I guess it shows the studios or the games that they worked on previously, and who they were, when they left. I'm gonna call out some ones that stood out to me here. One that left that was fairly recent, meaning November 2021. Actually, even December 2021. Chris O'Neill, lead level designer. He is originally from God of War. He did a lot of level designers on God of War. He
You
did
a lot of
level
designers.
level designs on God of War. He designed those. He left in December 2021. Another one, Kai Zhang, principal level designer, left in October 2021. He was also from God of War. And Ian Miller, senior designer, left this month from God of War as well. Yeah, there was a lot of people from God of War working on this game. It's
Sony, a lot
crazy.
of Last of Us people are on it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're all over.
Another one that's very surprising to me how they got here from Insomniac. Joey Tan, associate technical designer, left last year, 2021,
Yeah,
December 21st. December 20th, 2021.
He also still worked for Insomniac. He just did that on the side, probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
based on
okay.
Insomniac employee work level.
Gotcha. Lee
He
Davis,
was actually working for Insomniac while holding that job.
Of course. Lee Davis, lead gameplay animator from Naughty Dog. He left this month.
Yep,
And then,
that role's not important though. You didn't need that.
Another one from Insomniac.
See, he was the people who were from Insomniac, they were actually working on Insomniac IPs and stuff while in these offices, and people would walk by and be like, "Is that really Perfect Dark? That doesn't look anything like what we're trying to go for here. Hold on a minute, where's this project going?"
Wow, Perfect Dark looks weird. Is that Spider-Man?
Guys, it's Perfect Dark.
Guys, I know I know you used to work at Insomniac, but why is Miles Morales in this?
Here's the real storyline. Those Insomniac employees infiltrated this company to make Perfect Dark not be a thing, so Insomniac can make
sabotaging it from the
So
inside out.
Insomniac could make it. Kevin, let me ask you a question. Now, couldn't Insomniac just make it and release it before them?
Yes.
They'd be like, "Hey, Microsoft, we were bored. Do you want the game files? We got about 165 terabytes of it complete. We've only been working on it for a week."
Hey, do you want a remaster of Perfect Dark 64? And do you want this new Perfect Dark game? Also, the DLC will be out next month.
Hey, Sony hasn't approved it yet, but we made Spider-Man 1 available on Xbox. So if they ever say yeah, just pop that in and hit power. You'll see. It'll do it. Also, it'll code the Xbox to understand. Don't worry about it. We got this.
There was another senior environment artist from Insomniac that left in September, and then they have some new hires. The new hires are from Infinity Ward, the Coalition, Turn 10, Riot, Treyarch, 2K, and the Coalition. There's 2 coalition ones.
Yeah, I got that.
I
Coalition's good. They make gears.
Yeah, but these are all as of last year, in the beginning of the year. And,
Yeah, they're hiring a bunch. They lost a lot of people. Apparently the Crystal Dynamics thing, it looks like Crystal Dynamics is taking charge of this. And then
Yes.
that's why a lot of the leads left, and then like 50 people left. And now the company is, the Initiative, I believe is what that company's called. Their size of the company is now below 50.
That's insane.
Like when, as of last year, they were like trying to build it up, and they were close to 100.
Yep.
So, which is, crazy. Phil, what are you doing? Phil, what's happening? Get in on that. What's going on there, Phil?
Tell you what's gonna
I feel like
happen
he'd be
next.
playing damage control for that, but I mean, I guess it doesn't matter to him much.
I feel like Perfect
I
Dark
mean, I'm
isn't
sure
gonna
he's doing
happen
stuff.
by this studio, and here's how it's actually gonna play out. IO Interactive will release James Bond, whatever they're doing with that, and they're gonna be like, guys, we got a new project. It's called Perfect Dark. You ever hear of it?
No, I'm gonna disagree with that. Even if it's a joke,
No?
I disagree with the joke.
Oh,
I don't
know,
want
man.
them to
It'd
make
be
that.
cool.
I want
Why?
to see the Bond thing, and then I want a sequel
they're
to the
gonna make
Bond
that
thing
first?
because the Bond thing's gonna be really good. I guarantee it. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay. Yeah, that's
89.
fair.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
93.
Rotten Tomato? What?
On IMDb.
Yep, 89. That's what they give on IMDb. Not an 8.9.
No, 89.
Alright.
Sucks. Making games are hard. Pandemic games are hard. Good luck to that team. Hopefully they figure it out. I guess Perfect Dark might probably not be at E3, and also I think they announced that game too early. Also, Genesis, did you know this was Perfect Dark, or are you about to call it out? Get it?
That was mean.
No, it wasn't.
Guys, I think they're talking about Perfect Dark. He
Kevin
announces way
confirmed
too
it.
early.
Crustacean confirmed it. Genesis at the end. Yeah, this is Perfect Dark. It's gotta be. What?
That was a good E3. Anyway.
It was the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Guys.
E3.
What?
I think Perfect Dark got announced way too early, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, it lost a bunch of studio heads and devs and people. I don't know if we talked about that, but
let's move on.
Alright. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Moving on to this one here. Ubisoft Sweden is working on a new IP. The game seems to be procedural and heavy physical interactions. They seem to be working on a new IP as well as an unannounced project. Seems to be at least 3 projects in development, might be in collaboration with other international Ubisoft studios. Let me look at the job source that they put up.
I'll tell you right now.
Second here.
Might be in collaboration with other Ubisoft studios. Definitely in collaboration with other Ubisoft studios. Not one of those people make their own game.
What is a game of physical interactions? Do I put the controller through my TV?
Yes. The description shows they're looking for an engineering manager to join the studio for an ambitious new game IP. Create.
Are they the main people who made Division?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
I think they are.
Maybe.
I think that was Ubisoft Sweden.
Oh, Ubisoft.
Every time there was.
Sweden?
Yeah. I think every time they showed off the Division was somebody Swedish speaking.
Which the Division, I think, is taking a back seat from what I understand, too. But
as far as I'm aware, probably.
Yeah, it's not doing very well. Not too much to go off on this one. Sorry. No? Not a very good leak there.
Fine.
Hey, that was good.
Well, hold on, though. Like, what are they talking about with physical interactions? Is it a VR game?
I'm not sure. I was looking into the job posting, and it really didn't explain much into it. They were talking about, like, what the person would do as one of the managers on the team, but, like, they're not talking about the game, so I'm not sure where this person is getting the procedural and
Wait,
heavy
can you
physical
read the job
interactions.
listing again?
Sure. Have you worked as an engineer but find more joy in managing people? Do you find excitement in taking a feature from planning through to delivery? We are looking for an engineering manager to join our studio for an ambitious new game IP here in Stockholm, Sweden. As engineering manager, you will be responsible for the programmers for our projects and oversee the delivery of the tech cell. With your experience as a leader, you create an environment oriented to trust. You also work closely with your peers and tech directors to establish product vision, goal, and general quality, and follow agile methodologies that best fit the teams to drive your work forward. That's it.
Where was the procedural part?
That's what I'm looking for. I'm like, where did this person get the procedural garbage from?
Interesting.
I don't know. I'm not sure where that's coming from.
Sounded like
That's what I
that
was looking
person
into
was
it, and I
just
was
in
like,
charge of people.
yeah. That's why I apologize. I'll go to the next one, but not very good as far as I'm reading. I'm like, I don't understand where you're getting this from. Anyway, next lead that I got. New Xbox codename spotted, Keystone. This is from Twitter. Terrell Honan is the person who posted this up. Codename is right below the Xbox's consoles. The codenames Durango is for Xbox One and Scarlet was for Xbox Series X/S. What Keystone actually means is unknown. So I guess looking at where this is popping up as far as the name scheming goes, it's popping up under Scarlet. So would this be something? What I would think this would be Keystone, probably that Xbox gaming stick that we've heard for a little while,
Mm-hmm.
where it's literally a miniature, tiny little HDMI console that you just plug into a TV like a Chromecast, and it's got Game Pass loaded on it.
Yeah, the
Just
cloud
play
dongle.
everything. Yes. Keystone fits as a code name for that. I would think that's Xbox's next move because they'd save a shit ton of overhead for that, and they would have Game Pass even more. Uh, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? More planted into people's houses because
Yeah.
you could easily make it very cost effective, and now you don't have to buy a console anymore. You just buy a controller and that's
Yeah, if
pretty
your
much
internet's
cheaper
good.
than yeah. Which, that's all dependent on the internet. Correct. It's Stadia. It's literally Stadia, but in Xbox form.
Now, one thing.
Yeah.
If this is going to plant itself into the house, it's going to mess up the foundation.
I mean, I would assume so. That foundation's going to get rocked by that
Actually, the
Keystone.
foundation should be okay because it's Keystone. Now, if you remove it, then the whole thing falls apart.
Oh, that's fair.
That's
That's how
if
they get you.
Keystone is
That's how
indeed
they get
the
you. They get in and you can't take it back out.
if
It's a
Keystone is
Keystone
indeed
dongle.
a unless Keystone is whatever the Xbox Series X Pro would be. I don't think we're that far to even
I
think of
think,
something like that,
yeah,
but
no.
Or
I
it's
mean,
just a fear.
honestly, they probably already have ideas for whatever the next Xbox is,
Right? Right?
because they usually
Keystone
start
beer? Yeah.
immediately. But yeah, I don't think this is. It's either the dongle or it's something completely useless that we'll never know.
yeah, a lot
What
of
it
code
is.
names never even come to fruition. It's
Yeah,
something that they patent because they have an idea for something in the future. But yeah, I found that interesting. I was like, I don't know if that was something that anybody's heard of, but I would thought it's the dongle. That just makes most sense to me.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. Let me see what else I got here. I think I'll confirm one that Adam was talking about last week. Sheepshill Nick says Pixel Opus and Sony Animation are collaborating for Sly Cooper. I think Adam did call that,
Mm-hmm.
where Pixel Opus would be the one doing something with Sly Cooper. I think
Because
you said
yeah, they announced in
working on
June of
them.
last year that they partnered with Sony Pictures Animation.
Yes.
Um, and there's apparently a Sly Cooper series, like rumored. And
There
also,
was a
there's a
trailer a
Sly
while ago
game rumored. Trailer for the show?
for a movie. Yeah, I thought. Around the same time Ratchet and Clank was a movie.
I don't know.
Am I wrong? Maybe it was a video game.
Maybe it was a video game.
Yeah,
I swear it wasn't though.
I don't know.
I'll
I
look.
remember
I'll
when the
see if I
Ratchet
find
and
it.
Clank movie was a thing, they were trying to get a Sly series or movie. I don't remember them actually doing it or releasing a trailer.
I don't know. All right. Let me get to the last rumor here, since that
Yeah,
was just really a
2017.
call out. There's a trailer in 2017.
Yep.
That's a fan trailer, Kevin.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw it at the theater.
All right. Last one I got here, gentlemen. Nintendo trademarks games including Metroid Zero Mission, Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, Mach Rider, and Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. Most likely, these are trademarks because they're going to be renewing these fairly soon. I would expect we'd probably get those ports over to the Nintendo Switch Online family. Is that what they call it? The system that they have where they're taking all the old games back and they're letting you play it with that subscription that's yearly. That's probably why they're renewing the trademarks. But
Zero Mission's a Game Boy game.
Correct.
So
they would have Game Boy games on there, I would assume. If they don't have it already.
Yeah, it's not there yet. So
yeah.
Unless they're planning to do something with Game Boy games, that'd be interesting.
That, or they're planning to do something with Zero Mission again, and they're looking to port that over somewhere. I don't know. It's not out of the question. I mean, they're porting for them. Just add a little bit more graphics, make it look like the GTA Definitive Experience that came out, and charge people $60 for it. People will buy it. Because people are stupid. I would think it's more along the lines of they're putting it out for that Nintendo Switch Online family thing, where they're gonna eventually have Game Boy games playable through the online service.
This is a fan thing? There's
Yeah,
listings for this in 2016.
Go on IMDb. It's not real. It's not a thing. It's not out. Never released.
Okay.
It's also videos of it from 2014. It's not a completed, actual done project.
I never said it was completed.
All right. That is all I have for rumors, gentlemen. That is it.
All right.
Anybody else got any topics before we wrap up here?
Do we talk about the 12 million units for Elden Ring?
Why?
So,
we could talk about that. He brought it up. Let him talk about it.
no, I just wanted to bring it up.
What did you want to
Okay,
say?
we brought it up.
What did you want to say? That's why I said why.
Congratulations, Elden Ring.
Yeah,
Congratulations to the
but
company that
also
apparently
FromSoft.
underpays and mistreats their employees.
Get that shit corrected.
Yeah, like, hey, nice job, management.
You fuckers.
Yeah, like, we can talk about it. I don't have anything specific about it. That's crazy.
Yeah, because isn't that the highest, I think, for a Souls game?
It's the highest, yeah. Dark Souls 3 has 10 million lifetime sales as of like a year and a half ago or something like that.
Wow.
And Elden Ring beat that.
On the PlayStation blog, my guy.
What? What, Kevin?
It's on the PlayStation blog, my
What
guy.
is?
We are thrilled to announce our next CG animated film, Sly Cooper, based on one of the PlayStation's most beloved franchises.
Dude, it's not out.
I didn't say it was out.
It
They
never
made
happened.
a trailer. I know. That's all I said.
I think he's just saying there was a
I literally
trailer.
only said that there was a trailer
He
for
just said
that
there was a
thing.
trailer. He didn't say it was
That's
out. He
it.
just said there was a trailer, I think.
Yeah, and I said there was a trailer and it's not out. It never came out.
You said
It
it's
was like-
a fan-made
No, you
trailer.
It was like a
You said it was
fan-made thing because it
fan-made.
never happened.
That's not what a fan-made thing is. It was official.
Oh my
They just never went anywhere with
It
it.
never happened.
Okay.
Dude just kept looking for it. Oh my god.
I knew I was
Calm
right.
down, my
I
boy.
mean- I mean-
Sorry. Yeah, damn. I'm
They made-
the
Alright,
only
gentlemen.
person
They
in
made
this-
one
this party
trailer
that
and
does
then
that.
nothing else happened.
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to prove that the movie was coming out. I think he was just saying that there was a trailer, but then you said it was fan-made. So he's like, I don't think it's fan-made. I think it was an actual trailer. And you're like, it's not real. And then he went up and he found it on the PlayStation blog and it's real.
It's still not real.
the
It's a trailer
movie-
for nothing. They made nothing.
But
So every
It's still a
trailer for a
trailer.
canceled movie is not real?
it's a
Every
Still a
trailer
trailer.
for a movie that was actually never made, because the scenes of that trailer are not actual movie. They literally just made a trailer.
that's just a trailer.
Correct.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Kevin, am I missing something here?
Oh, move on.
Alright.
We moved on like 10 minutes ago.
Alright. Well, with that,
No, you moved on 10 minutes ago.
Kevin
I
was
don't know why
looking.
you just kept going with
Kevin
it.
was looking.
Kevin's like, there was a trailer. It's a real movie. I'm not crazy. I saw it in a theater.
I saw the trailer in a real cinemas trailer.
Yeah.
Theater.
For a movie that
Alright.
never really existed.
And with
Yep.
that, we will catch you guys again next week. Thank you to everybody who stayed till the end of the podcast. As always, make sure you follow us on twitch.tv/craftingachat. Subscribe to us on the YouTube, Starting Too Late with 2 R's. And make sure you get your COVID vaccine shot, even though people think COVID's over.
Hey, if you stayed till the end, put in the comments the Sly Cooper movie happened. Just put that in the comments. We'll understand.
It was,
Put it in the
well,
comments.
that's how we'll know that you stayed till the end, because you would
Just
only know it if that
be like,
if,
hey.
if you put that.
That's how we'll know. I mean, nothing will happen. We won't look, but just put them there.
Well, no, well,
Audience
as
interaction.
always,
No, I'm not gonna
we
look.
will see you guys next week, same time, same place. Crafting a Chat, signing off. See you later, motherfuckers.
Hey, don't steal from me. Bye-bye, Sly Cooper.